My argument is that we should try our very best to treat people without regard to race, both in our personal lives and our public policy.
Of course.
And the reason I wrote this book, thank you. The reason I wrote this book is because in the past 10 years, it has become very popular to, in the name of anti-racism, teach a kind of philosophy to our children and in general that says your race is everything, right? And I think that is the wrong way to fight racism, and that's why I wrote this book at this time.
One man walked straight into the lion's den, steady as a rock while cameras rolled. He faced the view panel knowing exactly what he was stepping into, a place where different opinions usually don't survive past the first sentence. But this time, silence wasn't on the menu.
And so many in the Black community, if I'm being honest with you, because I want to be, believe that you are being used as a pawn by the right and that you're a charlatan of sorts.
He's not a Republican.
So how do you...
He's never voted for a Republican.
You've said that you're a conservative.
No.
No, you did. You actually said that in the podcast that you did 2 weeks ago.
I said I was a conservative.
He's not.
Yes, you did. So, but my question to you is, how do you respond to those critics?
Okay, let's give it a...
He argued the real divide isn't color, it's class. Help the poor, lift the struggling, and racial equality follows naturally. Simple, logical, and way too honest for daytime TV. What should have been common sense somehow became controversial.
Socioeconomics picks out people in a better way than race. When you do look at the socioeconomics, you see the huge disparity between white households and Black households. You see the huge disparity between white households and Hispanic households. So your argument, and I've read your book twice because I wanted to give it a chance, argument that race has no place in that equation is really fundamentally flawed, in my opinion.
He didn't yell or attack, but every word hit like a truth grenade tossed into the comfort zone of identity politics. He said race-based thinking, once a weapon of division, has been rebranded as social justice and sold to kids in classrooms and celebrities on stage. He called it what it was, the undoing of real progress.
Questions. One is whether each racial group is socioeconomically the same. That I agree with you, they're not.
Yeah, they're not, and the stats show that.
Yeah, of course, I agree with that fully. The question is, how do you address that in the way that actually targets poverty the best?
Great.
And what Martin Luther King wrote in his book, Why We Can't Wait, is he called it, we need a Bill of Rights for the disadvantaged. And he said, yes, we should address racial inequality. Yes, we should address the legacy of slavery. But the way to do that is on the basis of class. And that will disproportionately target Blacks and Hispanics because they're disproportionately poor, but it will be doing so in a way that also helps the white poor, in a way that addresses poverty as the thing.
He said, teaching kids that skin color defines who they are doesn't end racism. It keeps it alive. The room froze. Eyes rolled, smiles stiffened. He wasn't challenging people, he was challenging a belief system. Before we go on, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel because it's about to get intense.
Student of Dr. King. I'm not only a student of Dr. King, I know his daughter, Bernice, right? So I'm going to get to my question.
Go right ahead.
I think the premise is fundamentally flawed. You claim that color blindness was the goal of the civil rights movement, based upon Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech, content of character versus the color of skin. King's daughter points out that 4 years after giving that speech, actually, Dr. King also said this: a society that has done something special against the Negro for hundreds of years must now do something special for Negroes. He also said in 1968, it was about less than a week before he was created, this country never stops to realize that they owe a people kept in slavery for 244 years. So rather than class, he did write about that earlier on. Right before his death, he made the argument for racial equality and racial reparation.
That's when it snapped. Sonny Hostin jumped in fast and furious, not with facts, but insults. She called him a pawn, accused him of being used by the right, and even questioned his integrity. The debate turned into an ambush. When logic failed, she aimed for character. Textbook move, destroy the messenger when you can't counter the message.
I think is something that the right has co-opted. And so many in the Black community, if I'm being honest with you, because I want to be, believe that you are being used as a pawn by the right and that you're a charlatan of sorts.
He's not a Republican.
So how do you...
He's never voted for a Republican.
You've said that you're a conservative.
No.
No, you did. You actually said that in the podcast that you did 2 weeks ago.
I said I was a conservative.
He's not.
Yes, you did.
But she twisted his words. He never denied racism or history. He simply said fixing poverty helps everyone, especially minorities. Instead of debating the point, Sunny went straight for personal shots, hoping labels would end the conversation. But they didn't, because people could feel it. He was making sense, and she was losing ground.
Very important. The quote that you just pointed out about doing something special for the Negro, that's from the book Why We Can't Wait that I just mentioned.
Yes.
A couple paragraphs later, he lays out exactly what that something special was,
Yes.
and it was the Bill of Rights for the Disadvantaged, a broad class-based
But
policy.
he also says you must include race.
No, he didn't. He says it's
Yes, he does.
Okay, well, everyone should go read the book Why We Can't Wait. I don't think I've been co-opted by anyone. I've only voted twice, both for Democrats. Although I'm an independent, I would vote for a Republican, probably a non-Trump Republican if they were compelling. I don't think there's any evidence I've been co-opted by anyone, and I think that's an ad hominem tactic people use to not address really the important conversations we're having here. Better for everyone if we stuck to the topics rather than make it about me with
It's
no
not about
evidence.
You, but
that
I
I've
just want to give you the opportunity to respond to the
I appreciate
the criticism.
I appreciate it. There's no evidence that I've been co-opted by anyone. I have an independent podcast. I work for CNN as an analyst. I write for the Free Press. I'm independent in all of these endeavors, and no one is paying me to say what I'm saying.
This wasn't a debate anymore, it was a televised trial. Sunny played prosecutor, judge, and jury while he stayed calm and composed. And that's what made her nervous. When someone doesn't take the bait, when logic beats outrage, people start listening. And that's when things started turning fast.
You write that the anti-racism movement, there are a couple of people, I don't even know who they are, maybe you know.
Robin DiAngelo.
Robin DiAngelo,
Yeah.
Ibram Kendi, for instance.
Okay. Well, you say that is just another form of racism, and you even say it has a lot in common with white supremacy. How can you compare those two things? You're talking
compare
about
them because-
anti-racism, you're comparing it to white supremacy.
Because they both view your race as an extremely significant part of who you are. So white supremacists, they obviously say, we all know what they say, okay? Neo-racists like Rob DiAngelo, they say that to be white is to be ignorant, for example. Well, this is a racial stereotype, and I want to call a spade and say this is not the style of anti-racism we have to be teaching our kids. We should be teaching them that your race is not a significant feature of who you are. Who you are is your character, your value, and your skin color doesn't say anything.
He broke it down so simply even the View's fact checkers went silent. If Black and Hispanic Americans are disproportionately poor, then helping the poor as a class automatically helps those communities. No need to divide by skin color, just fix the system. Sunny thought she had her gotcha moment, blurting out, well, there's still a massive wealth gap between white and Black families, thinking she'd cornered him. But she didn't realize she'd just proven his argument. If those groups are overrepresented among the poor, then class-based solutions already target them. Game over, but instead of admitting it, Sunny doubled down, pretending she'd won something. The crowd clapped anyway, not for logic, just loyalty. Reflex applause for their favorite co-host. Coleman stayed calm, unbothered, and then dropped a history bomb straight from Martin Luther King Jr.'s Why We Can't Wait. King proposed a Bill of Rights for the disadvantaged, not a race-based handout, but a fix for poverty itself. Help the poor because they're poor, King wrote, and by doing so, you'll help Black Americans because they're overrepresented among the poor. That's not conservative talk. That's classic MLK, but Sunny, cornered again, tried to rewrite King's legacy on live TV. She claimed he wanted race-based reparations, quoting one of his final speeches. Coleman didn't flinch. He reminded her that even in the same book, King clarified what something special meant. Targeted help for the disadvantaged, not checks by color, calm, factual, devastating.